Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Saurabh Sasidharan, Customer Success Manager for ARC Advisory Group India. Today, we are diving into a crucial component of industrial automation, the global valve actuators market. Joining with me to unpack ARC's latest report is our analyst, Kiran Chavan. Welcome to the podcast, Kiran.
Hi, Saurabh. Thanks for the introduction.
So, Kiran, let's start with the basics. Could you walk us through the scope of this market analysis report?
This report provides an in-depth analysis of world valve actuator marketplace, including quantitative assessment of market size, segmentations, and forecast trends. ARC segments the market by product features, nature of the supply, regions, industries, distribution channels, and customer type. The report also evaluates qualitative strategies of leading global suppliers to the market.
Thank you, Kiran. That's a solid foundation. Now, let's talk about the players shaping this market. What is the supply landscape?
Supplier of valve actuator includes several major suppliers of valves and devices like AUMA, Flowserve, Rotork, Emerson. Other notable suppliers including Valmet, IMI Critical Engineering, Nihon, Koso, and Samson.
Must say some of the biggest name in industrial automation. No surprise there. So now let's look at what's driving the demand. Like what are the key growth factors?
One of the major success factor is proliferation of green hydrogen value chain. The ongoing drive towards prompting green zero emission and sustainability energy is leading to the investments and research to develop conceptual hydrogen powered economies across several developed regions in the world. Green hydrogen is new promising secondary source for the storing excess energy generated from renewable energy sources.
Green hydrogen is definitely reshaping energy infrastructure, but what's holding the market back? Could you explain some inhibiting factors, if any?
Material cost and inflation. The cost of raw material for making valves are quite unstable with prices for steel, copper, and brass frequently changing. These price changes are due to market forces and logistic issues, complicating efforts by valve manufacturers and distributors to manage them. As a result, higher material costs lead to increase the production expenses and reduce profit margins.
Thank you, Kiran, for explaining both growth and inhibiting factors. So next, as a buyer, what strategies would you recommend when selecting or implementing valve actuators?
Well, Saurabh, you will have to supplier remote service offering. End users should consider partnering with field devices supplier offering remote monitoring, operations, and or analysis. As locations become ever more remote and operations more extensive, it becomes very expensive and often hazardous to transport temporary support personnel to these sites. Instead, owner operators should consider establishing practices for remote operation monitoring and management. An increasing number of valve actuator and digital positioner suppliers are developing valve maintenance service that leverage valve expertise to fill existing gaps for customers and create new revenue stream for themselves.
That's a great point. Like remote service is becoming essential, especially with the expanding digital operation. Would you like to point out any trends for our listeners?
One of the major trend in valve actuator is increasing focus on safety life cycle. End users are putting an increased focus on the entire safety life cycle. More users are beginning to see the most safety failures come for valve connected to safety systems rather than the safety system logic itself. This understanding is driving end users to invest more intelligent and reliable valve actuators so they cannot only operate safer plant but also prove it.
Agreed. So now let's talk about the value of the study. Like how can buyers of the study be benefited? Can you just go through the same also?
The clients will get to know and develop better understanding of competitive environment in which they are operating. As this research report provides strategic insight into the valve actuator market in terms of how major companies are coming up and innovating strategies and products to maintain their position in the market. ARC research aims to help both end users and suppliers of valve actuator strategic planning.
Thank you so much, Kiran. Thank you for breaking that down for our audience, and thank you, audience, for tuning in. We hope this episode helped you understand the trend, challenges, and strategic shift shaping the global wall actuators market. To audience, stay tuned for more episode. Also, please visit our website www.arcweb.com And once again, thank you, Kiran. We'll join soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.